Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of What's Up, Vinati. Today I bring forth the most happening news around the world, covering all the national headlines, international news, sports updates, and other miscellaneous news stories that are important for you to know about. So without further ado, let us move forward with this episode. First up, national news. Our first story revolves around a major legislative change which is aimed at boosting India's energy security. India approves legislation to boost oil and gas exploration. So, this bill basically seeks to amend the 1948 law on oil extraction and introduces provisions which are designed to attract significant investments by offering policy stability, international arbitration, and has extended the lease periods. Now, with crude oil imports accounting for nearly 90% of India's consumption from April to December 2024, this move has been aimed to enhance the domestic production and reduce dependency on foreign oil. Now we move on to financial matters. India is seeking Parliament's approval for additional $5.9 billion dollars expenditure in 2024-2025. So the government of India has requested the Parliament to approve an additional 514.63 billion rupees, which is approximately $5.90 billion dollars for the fiscal year ending on March 31st, 2025. So the proposed funds are intended for various purposes, including upgrading telecom networks in underserved regions and settling dues for employees of state-run telecom firms like Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited and Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited. So furthermore, on top of this, 17 billion rupees have been allocated for the new unified pension scheme for federal employees, which will begin operations from April 1st, 2025. I would also be covering Telangana news this time because that is the state where I am from. So that is an area of interest to me. So, firstly, infrastructure and wildlife conservation is making headlines in Telangana this past week. So, first up, there is uncertainty over the Chanaka Korata irrigation project in Adilabad. So, the farmers in Adilabad are expressing concerns over the delayed completion of this irrigation project, which was initially expected to provide enhanced irrigation facilities and would have significantly benefited the agricultural community. So, authorities are being urged to expedite the construction to ensure timely water supply to the farmlands. And next up being a citizen-led initiative to support urban wildlife in Hyderabad. So Citizens for Animals is a organization which is aiming to protect urban wildlife during the scorching summer months. So volunteers have placed water bowls across Hyderabad to help birds and animals stay hydrated during these rising temperatures. So this heartwarming project really reflects the community's dedication to preserving biodiversity, and it is a very welcome initiative. Good to see. And next up, I will also be covering Andhra Pradesh news because again that is a topic of interest for me. So firstly, the stage is set for the SSC public exams in Andhra Pradesh. So the government is making sure that these examinations start as scheduled from tomorrow, and all the authorities have put measures in place to ensure the smooth and efficient conduct of exams across the state. So best of luck to all the students appearing for their exams. Next up, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh is to participate in the Srinivasa Kalyanam project. So this occasion signifies the government's dedication to preserving and promoting cultural heritage and traditions within the state through this initiative. Next up, let's move on to international news. So tensions continue to brew while some long anticipated events have made headlines this week. So first up, the United Kingdom has criticized President Putin's response to a peace plan that he proposed. So the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has openly criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin's response to a proposed peace plan, calling it not good. So during a virtual meeting that involved European leaders and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, Starmer emphasized the urgent need for Russia to engage in genuine peace negotiations to resolve the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Second up, Kate Middleton has returned to the Commonwealth Day service, which is indeed a touching moment for the British public because Kate Middleton has made her return to the Commonwealth Day service after a 2 year hiatus because she has been battling with cancer. Her appearance at the service has been celebrated as a symbol of resilience and strength after her fight with cancer. Moving on to sports news. Let us catch up with all the latest updates from the sports world. First up being England's historic Six Nations victory over Wales. So England has secured a record-breaking victory against Wales, winning 68 to 14 in the Six Nations match held at the Principality Stadium. So this is the largest margin of victory in Cardiff in 134 years, and therefore thereby it is a historic moment for English rugby. And second up, NBA. So the Milwaukee Bucks have defeated the Indiana Pacers. They triumphed over the latter with a score of 126 to 119. So the game's star performer Giannis has scored 34 points and grabbed 10 rebounds, leading his team to a hard-earned victory. Next up, some important news in the business world. Market reacts to new tariffs amid AI developments. So the stock market has experienced notable fluctuations after the announcement of new tariffs by President Donald Trump, leading to retaliatory measures from the European Union. Investors are also closely monitoring Nvidia's GTC event, which could impact AI related stocks and the broader technology market. Second up, the stock market movements, which have to be observed. So, the financial market continues to show instability, influenced by multiple factors, including economic indicators, global political events, and technological developments. So, investors are advised to proceed cautiously during this volatile period. And finally, I would also like to bring forth some interesting and intriguing stories from around the world. First up is the impact of lunar eclipse and planetary retrogrades. So this week saw a rare lunar eclipse paired with Mercury and Venus retrogrades. So several astrologers claim that this cosmic alignment could influence personal relationships, communication patterns, and decision-making processes. So, interesting subject indeed. Second up, space launch, which has disrupted air travel. So, recent space launches have been proved to cause significant disruptions in air travel, raising concerns about the growing intersection between aerospace activities and commercial aviation schedules. And that's a wrap on today's episode. Hope you enjoyed this comprehensive roundup of this week's biggest stories. So, be sure to stay tuned for more updates next week. Until next time on What's Up Vinati, stay tuned, keep learning. See you next week. Bye bye.